Roots of the Science podcast with your girl, Anne with an E.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Root of the Science podcast with your girl, Anne with an E. My guest today is Ashley Chimahnda. He's an IT security specialist and a certified ethical hacker. He defines himself as someone who empowers the vulnerable using technology. In this episode, we learn exactly what an ethical hacker is versus a normal typical hacker. We also get to learn some tips and tricks to protect ourselves online, especially in this digital age. He then also tells us about FundisaCode, and a non-profit organization that he's very passionate about, which works to narrow the digital divide between children in underprivileged communities and those in urban areas. So do stay tuned because there's a lot more in store. Hi, Ashley, and welcome to the show.
Hi, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to chat with me. I'm really excited to find out about you and everything that you do.
I'm also excited to be here, and I can't wait for your questions.
Okay, cool. So we're just going to dive right into it. So I want you to tell us a bit about yourself, your age, where you're from, what you do, and also just as a little icebreaker for us to get to know you away from the science. A little in digging told me that you're a big soccer fan, typically a Liverpool fan. So how in the world are you surviving without your soccer weekends and your Monday football weekend?
Yeah, sure. Where to start? You said my name. I'm Ashley with an EY, and
Okay.
I'm 26. Born and bred in Zimbabwe in a little rural town called Mutoko. I grew up in the city. I'm an ethical hacker, certified ethical hacker, currently working as a systems analyst at a mining company. And, it's been depressing really because, at any time when I'm not on my phone, when I'm not on my laptop, in fact, that's all I ever do. So when I'm not there, my phone is charging, and I'm watching a Liverpool game or I'm reading something about Liverpool. So it's been depressing also because we were about to win the league after 30 years of not winning the league, and it was going to be a defining moment for me.
Wait, are you sure you were gonna win?
We're going to win, yeah. We were about how many games? We were less than four games, I'm sure,
Wow,
from winning the league. And
you're almost there.
so, yeah, it was depressing. But then we got good news today that the league is going to resume in like 2 months. So I'm hoping, all things being equal, it resumes, and we actually get to. It's not going to be the same, of course, but it will be something, I've never seen my team leave the league, and it's something I can wait for.
Oh man, well that's good to know. So you explained that you are a certified ethical hacker in your introduction of yourself.
Yeah.
So I just want you to give me a brief overview before you got there in terms of educational background, and also like what are the influences that led you into you being where you are right now.
Yeah, sure thing. I've always loved computers from a very young age. I think from as far as I can remember, honestly, I was always a capricious kid, and I must say I've always been curious. Generally, I think the word to describe me ever since I was a kid until now is a curious person. So I always want to know, how things work, why they are the way they are, So I always used to, break remote, whenever I was alone at home. It's like I want to see how the TV works. Why does it do A, B, and C? Why does it work the way it works? And whenever I don't understand, I'd always try to open it up. and opening things up at times would lead to breaking things up. We should also, make me fix things. Of course, before the parents come home. So it's always been me trying to try to figure things out. And I studied information systems at a local university. I graduated in 2017. Before that, in high school, I was always the best computer student in my class.
Wow.
So even from primary school, I only got to study computers when I was in grade 5 or so. Yeah, that's when I started studying computers on the side, because we didn't have IT as a subject back then. But my mom was into IT. So she worked for the Justice Department. So because she was in IT, she'd always bring old computers at home. She'd always dump computers at home. So I also was the only kid back then. So growing up as the only kid with both working parents, I always had all the time in the world to myself. No siblings to play with. Always inside the gate. I would always end up breaking up computers, trying to fix them. And so I guess that's what sparked my curiosity into computers, and I just went with it, to high school, to uni, and here I am.
Well, it means that you fixed them right. Did your parents never notice that, hey, Ashley, what happened to the remote?
Well, they did notice. Actually, I have to say, I was always in trouble. I was always in trouble all the time. But I think they got to a point where they just accepted me as I was. I think they just, if they thought whether they thought I was a curse or blessing, I don't know. I'd probably want to ask my dad, but they just accepted me as I was. So my family, my whole family just refers to me as the once naughty kid. It's like everyone in the family knew I was the naughty kid. But I would like to say I was the curious kid. I was not the naughty kid. Yeah, and also I guess it's now paying off. So yeah.
Definitely, it is. It's really paying off, and I like how you take note that your mom was in IT, so she influenced you getting probably into this career. So just to back it up, for somebody sitting there saying, okay, this guy is saying he's an ethical hacker, right? But we all know from the movies that we've watched what hackers do and what hackers are synonymous for, So what is the difference between you, the ethical hacker, and the other hackers out there?
So thanks for that. I just want to make it clear what you see in the movies and what you see on Google when you look hackers up. It's never like that. Hackers don't wear ski masks or those masks that you see when you see hackers in the movies. Also, we don't wear like hoodies over our faces. We don't do that. I mean, we like hoodies, but then we don't wear them like that. And also, we don't. We're not as bad as they make us look. Actually, we're really good people. We're just like everyone else, really. And to the difference between me and the other ordinary hackers or the other bad hackers is basically there are two types of hackers. Well, there are three if you're to dig deep, but for the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to talk about two. We've got black hat hackers and we've got what they call white hat hackers. So as you know, black is bad and white is good. So the black hat hackers are the bad hackers, the people who hack your phone to steal information that they'll either sell online or that they'll use to ask for ransom. But the white hat hackers, that's where I belong. White hat hackers are people who hack for good. Basically, we hack with or a company, and then we actually get permission before we test your systems. We basically hack to review the vulnerabilities that might be on your system, on your network, or on your computers, so that you can improve like your security posture. You get. So that's the difference. We don't have any malicious intentions. And we always have permission, and we always make sure when we do hack, only good things come out. So yeah, really that's the difference. I hope I was clear.
No, that's very clear. So you, as the white hat hacker, the good guys, what sort of jobs are available for you? And with that, what is your current profession currently?
There are a lot of jobs. I actually need the day to talk about the jobs that are available for ethical hackers. But I'm currently a systems analyst, doubling as a security analyst. But you can also be a security engineer. You can be a penetration tester. You can be an information security officer. You can be an information security manager. You can be, a security consultant. You can be an information security analyst. You can be, so many things. But I think the ones that I mentioned are the major jobs that you can do as a certified ethical hacker. So basically, it's to protect an organization's information. So any role that involves protecting an organization's information, information systems, softwares, falls under the jobs that you can do as a certified ethical hacker.
Okay, so with my understanding is that you have a company, or a bank that contracts you guys specifically, and they say, okay, we've got this new system. Can you guys find the holes, and then you guys have to, so that they can improve, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly how we operate, yeah. So at times maybe a company is hacked by the bad hacker. So they have to find someone who's equally good but with good intentions. So they'll call us and then ask us to maybe track the bad guys or something like that.
But just to, how do you guys stay clean? Is it a conscious thing, or is it something that you have to sign that you're not going to do A, B, C, D, F, G? Because I think you guys are privy to so much information. So for you to keep your white hat, I mean, it's very easy in this in this day and age. I'm actually going to get into it just now. To get swayed and to be persuaded to actually use this information that you guys are able to access. So how is it that if they say, okay, Ashley, please go and look into our system, which is hosting all of these people's information, and you don't go then and say, I've got it. Because I have a scene in my head from one of the movies that we watch, and you have that, USB disk, and you don't go and sell it to the black market or something. So how do you guys keep your, to keep that whole, differentiate yourself in those certain moments?
Yeah, so that's a very key question that you've asked, and in order to keep our white hats, as you said, we've got a code of conduct that we follow. I know it doesn't sound hackerish, but then we do have a code of conduct that we follow. Which if you breach, you lose your certification. So everyone when certified, they've got like a certification number. So before you get like a contract, someone needs to like verify whether you're legit, certified. So if you were to breach the code of conduct, the code of ethics that governs us, then you would lose your certification and you'd not be eligible to certify again. So and also, I guess at times it's also just integrity. It's about trust, really. If you were to ask me to come and do a penetration test at your company, it's really an issue of trust, which is something that you build over years, I'm sure. So, and if you build a very good portfolio, then people won't question you. It's just about ethics and being honest and true to your work. But I guess it can be tempting, as you say, seeing other. But I guess you get used because from the time I started, from the time I got into the field, I'm always exposed to a lot of information. Imagine being able to see everyone's emails in an organization, being able to see, everyone's salary, everyone's account details, but I think with time you just get wired. I'm an ethical person. I follow a certain conduct. With time, it just gets into your blood. You never really get any temptations. Really, I don't recall for time I got tempted to do anything terrible just because people had trusted me with their information. So I guess it just gets hardwired into you with time.
No, that's good to know. And speaking about how valuable data information is, what is your take on this whole? I read an article, I think just a couple of days ago, that data is information, that is, data is being listed as the biggest commodity over your things such as your oil and your gold, and obviously there's so many different tools that these big companies are using to extract our data. And being in the world of cybersecurity, is there a way for us to run away from these big corporations and your Google or your Facebook, who are extracting all of this information from your normal everyday person? Do you think there's a way to run away from it? And your take on that, really?
All right. It is true. Data is the new gold. It's now the new oil, and it's whoever has the most data. It's now a competition. Whoever has the most data is like the one who's ruling the world. I've heard people saying Mark Zuckerberg is like the king of the world, and to be honest, I think he is. Because owning companies like Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, it's like he basically owns us. I must say, in layman's terms. And to answer your second question of whether it's possible to run away from it, to be very frank, I don't think we can run away from it. Why? I'm sure you recall from when we started the interview, I said I spend most of my time I'm on my phone or I'm on my laptop. I actually spend more time on these devices than any fictional eye can ever imagine. It's because our lives are now centralized on these devices. You can basically do anything. Right now, I'm having this call with you on my phone. After this, I'll read my Bible on my phone. I'll read a book on my phone. I'll talk to my dad on my phone. So basically, our lives are in a way now centered on these devices. And I would like to believe. Of course, I don't have concrete evidence to back this up, but I'd like to believe those devices are ever listening to us. Because you recall earlier on when we were talking, I mentioned a quote. Was it a quote or a book by Robin Sharma? When we were talking on WhatsApp, if you remember very well, in the morning, and in the afternoon when I was on YouTube, I was getting adverts by Robin Sharma. All my ads today were by Robin Sharma. So do you think that is a coincidence?
No, that is it's crazy.
You see, so I don't think there's any way of us running away from this. However, we can of course minimize how much data we give away, because as long as, what I can tell you is, as long as your device is connected to the internet in any way, it's listening to you. Device is listening to you. Because why they are saying data is the new gold is big companies, big corporations, instead of just advertising on billboards back in the day, they want to maximize on revenue, so they want targeted advertisements. They want to know their information is going exactly to the people who need it. So how do they do that? they then go to those companies which own the data, which own us, and then they ask them, you know what, we want to sell this new Mercedes Benz to people who actually want it. So so these companies can then, the Facebooks, the Google, can then give them exactly, profiles of the people who match their requirements. So they know they are putting 1 million to sell an advert to 100,000 people who actually are going to buy. They're going to they're advertising directly to the people who are interested. So it's different from back in the day, where you just advertise to people you're not even sure are going to buy the product. So yeah, I don't think there's any way you can run away from this. I remember from 2016, Mark Zuckerberg posted a picture on his Instagram. It was for an interview that he had. I'm forgetting with which tech company, and his MacBook, the webcam covered by a tape of some sort. You know how people always cover their camera. Yes, his camera and his mic were actually covered by tape. So, explain what that means. He knows. I mean, there are also people who are trying to listen to him. So, I don't know whether I'm being paranoid, but I prefer to be safe. So this is like the bare minimum that I can just do. So whenever I'm not using my webcam, which is like all the time, I always make sure it's covered. My mic is covered. That's the little I can do. But otherwise, there is no running away from these people listening to us and recording our conversations. That's how they make money. So yeah.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's more targeted, and I suppose we can't run away from it. But then this leads up to my follow-up question: that if we can't run away from it, you mentioned, like you said, that let's maybe tape our laptop. I know a lot of people do that, but in terms of just with our phone and to prevent hackers hacking us, because a lot of people say, oh no, my Facebook was hacked, or my Twitter was hacked, or all these fraud sort of things. What sort of tips can you give to people about how to protect their information and to just be a little bit more aware with how then they can use their devices in the future?
Okay, yeah, sure. Without being too technical at first, what I can tell you is, first of all, do not overshare things on social media. Oversharing is relative. You can define your own oversharing, but if it's not necessary, just don't put it out there. Because these people are collecting as much data as you can about everyone. I mean, there's a site called Copy. You should look it up. Well, it was started as a project, like KOPPIE, Copy. So what this site did is, what they do is, they make coffee mugs which they sell online, but then they print people's babies, like they put baby images on these mugs. So where do they get these baby images? They get them on Flickr, on Facebook, on different social media sites where moms post pictures. So Aim just got a baby, So and you post your baby, so happy, I got my first child, and and there are people who've got a program that just harvest baby pictures and they print them on mugs. So you can imagine how creepy it is that someone in California right now might be drinking coffee from a mug with your baby's picture. So don't share on social media, and also avoid talking to strangers if possible. Also avoid sharing media with strangers. And also another thing that I can say is also don't post people's images without their authority. And I think basically those are the non-technical rules I can share about staying safe on social media, because I'm sure you've heard a lot of issues about people's nudes being shared, or people demanding money to to back people their accounts, even celebrities, So just try not to share indecent pictures, and just basically any sort of media with strangers, and don't overtrust people as well. The person you call your boyfriend today, will be your ex the next day, and you wouldn't want things to go the way they'll go. And in terms of the technical ways, just don't use the same passwords across platforms. So most people usually have a habit of using the same password for Twitter, for Facebook, for their online banking. And that is very dangerous, because the moment someone cracks your Facebook password, that means they've got access to your whole life, and with how our lives are online these days, it means someone has basically hacked your life. So, try to use very unique passwords. Don't use, your birthday or your mom's birthday as your password. Make sure you've got one unique password for each platform, so that at least if someone hacks your Twitter, they'll only have access to Twitter, not everything else. And also, please always use multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication, as some call it. Almost every application or every website these days has got multi-factor authentication. It's like an extra layer of security. I'm sure you've seen either when you're using Twitter, at times it can give you an option after entering your password. It asks you for a passcode that then sends to your phone, either by means of SMS or it can be an email, just to verify whether it's really you. So, if someone were to get access to your password, they would also need, something extra, like your phone. So let's say someone by chance guesses your password, they would still need your phone in order to get access to your account. So if you've got multi-factor authentication on your Facebook, on your Twitter, you're very safe. If someone, the chances are very slim, that someone will get your password and also have access to your SMSs for them to be able to hack your account. At times you can even put three security layers, but after entering your password, you have to enter a one-time password. That's the password that's sent to your phone, and then you also have to click yes on a link that's sent to your email. So by doing this, you make sure the chances of you ever losing your account are very slim, or the chances of a hacker getting access to the information are very slim. I think that's all I can. Those are all the tips I can share with you for now.
No, thank you. Those are very useful, and I hope that people who are listening will take that into account, especially that password one. I think there's a couple of us who might be guilty of having that. And with all of these tips and tricks, it's also good to note that you actually give back to people. And I know that as part of you giving back and working with communities, you're also part of a non-profit organization, an NGO called FundisaCode. Can you just tell us more about it and why this initiative is so important?
Oh, yeah. So thank you so much. FundisaCode is a branch of Fundisa Children's Foundation, which is basically it's a group of recent grads who just came together, very young people, all under 28. So as a team, we just came together and we said, how can you give back to the community? So we formed an organization, Fundisa Children's Foundation, which gives back to the community. We take care of the underprivileged children in society. So FundisaCode is part of that, but then FundisaCode is mainly focused on instilling tech skills in these children that you deal with. These are the children who are forgotten, the children who don't ordinarily get sponsorship to go to school. These are the children who've got no idea what a computer is. The children who have maybe never heard of the internet. So these are the children that we're trying to get to make sure they also get a chance to play a part. We're in the fourth industrial revolution, and everything is automated. is now IT. So you can imagine trying to get a job, but then you've got no idea how to use a computer. You don't know what a computer is. So that's what we're just trying to do. We're trying to teach code to compute to these kids. We start from the basics, from how to sit on a computer, how to browse the internet, and until we get to advanced programming, we want to make sure we bring out the best in these kids. They also get they are mostly from the rural areas, so we want to make sure they get the same opportunities as the kids in the big cities. So they also get to participate in the resuscitation of the economy. They also get to be part of the policy making when it comes to IT issues. Because when it comes to SDG4 quality education, ICT is highlighted for its cross-cutting role in improving inclusiveness, equity, and quality in education. So that's just our goal. We want to narrow the digital divide and just make sure no one is left behind.
Wow, that's very commendable. And like you said, everything is becoming digital. Even now, they're proposing that we are digital learning. So there's so many people who are unfortunate and do not have the privilege that many of us had to actually have access to a computer. So this initiative is very commendable, and I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you very much.
It's very exciting. Also have another question. You've done a lot of amazing things. You are still pretty young, and when you look back, at younger you being as curious as you called yourself, not naughty, what achievement, to date, do you look at and think, I wish younger me would have known that this was actually possible?
Okay. To be honest, I don't think I can call it an achievement, but I recently started falling in love with reading books. One famous author said reading is like travel. It allows you to exit your own life for a bit and come back with a renewed and even an inspired perspective. It broadens your horizons. So, one opportunity that I wish, or one piece of advice that I wish someone had shared with me earlier on in life is, I wish they told me, when I didn't have a passport, I could also travel by reading books, because reading books has really helped me shift my mindset. It has helped me, believe in myself more. It has opened so many doors for me. So, I wish I had known this when I was, really, really young, when I was still trying to break remotes and, break things apart. I wish I had started reading at a younger age. It would have really made me a better person, at a very younger age. So, to all the young people who might be listening, you should really read books. I'm more into, when I'm not reading textbooks, I'm trying to read into philosophy. It's still about trying to understand how things work, how the universe works, how humans work, So, grab a book and, you never know, where it might lead you. I really wish I had known about this at a very young age.
That's some very valuable advice. That's really exciting. But I'm just going to take you from not being humble. I know that you had an opportunity, which I think is an achievement, to be part of this Microsoft opportunity, and I just want you to just elaborate on that. And then there was another one. There was another thing where you got to represent your country. So if you could just, I'm just allowing this opportunity to just humble brag for just a couple of seconds.
Sure. So I had the opportunity to get a stint at Microsoft. That was in August, if I remember very well. I think August 2019. So I was at Microsoft Egypt. That was in Cairo. It was a program for young people in IT, young people in cybersecurity, and I actually had the opportunity to talk to the big people. Microsoft is one of the biggest corporations in terms of market value, and I had a chance to talk to the industry leaders, to other young people, who were making it in IT, and it was an opportunity of a lifetime, really. It's something that someone recommended to me, and I also went with my little brother, who was part of the program. Someone who really motivates me as well, and so I think from that, what I can say or advice I can give is your network is your net worth, because of that, I was able to grow my network, and I also got the opportunity because of someone who's in my network. And later on, because of the same program, I was then recommended for the World Youth Forum, where I represent my country again. It was also in Egypt, but then in a different city. It was in Chimahanda, which is a tourist city in Egypt. And, it was, you can imagine, young leaders, people who were giving back to the community, making it in different fields. We had over 1,000 young leaders from all over the world. I think almost every country was represented, and it was a very big opportunity for me to also grow my network, learn and how other young leaders are trying to make this world a better place, a more sustainable place, a more inclusive place where everyone has a voice. And it was an out of this world experience, really. Wow. And it really also widened my perspectives on problem solving. I now take a look at things. I now look at problems differently. I now have a different mindset. Whenever I'm looking at problems in life generally.
Wow, no, that's fantastic, and congratulations on all of those things. And lastly, I know you've already given us some really good advice, especially to the young people who might be listening, like you said, about reading, and now you've also just said that how your network is your net worth. I love that. But is there anything else that you could advise somebody like an African in STEM, or who wants to get into what you're doing, and just to inspire them? I mean, I'm sure they're already inspired because of everything that you're doing, but just to give them that little bit of a push to maybe get into the sciences, or specifically into your field of cybersecurity.
Yeah, so I mean, all the young people out there, either in STEM or want to be in STEM. Well, to be honest, in this fourth industrial revolution, I don't think anyone has a choice. I think everyone has to be in STEM. To be honest, I don't know how this might sound, but when I went to Microsoft, we were just talking to the head of careers there, and he was telling us about how in 2018 they cut 50% of their workforce. These people were replaced by bots, by robots, by new systems, by new algorithms that could do their work, efficiently, and taking less time and producing better results. So those people who were not continuous learners were left behind. So what I can advise everyone is, if the tech field is very broad. It can be in cybersecurity, it can be in data analytics, it can be in web development. There's so many things. I'll need all day to talk about them. Just find something, just find something, and always reinvent yourself. In tech, we always say innovate or die. So just always look for something that you can do. Otherwise, where we are going, you will not be relevant if you don't have any tech skills. Of course, some people might argue with this, but in 2030 they're saying that we have over 50 billion devices connected. So we're gonna have cars self-driving. We're gonna have your microwaves, knowing when to heat your food, your stoves. We're gonna have all sorts of amazing things. So you're gonna have to fit somewhere if you're gonna be relevant. So always reinvent, always be an active learner, always seek self-improvement, and always follow your heart. I think that's what I can say to anyone who's out.
No, that's
please try to get into STEM. Yeah, it's not as bad as it is. Just try to get something.
No, it really isn't. Yeah, it really isn't. Thank you for that wonderful piece of advice, Ashley. And that's what I also try and tell people, that STEM is not as bad as people think it is, or the whole misconception. And it's so broad. Like, you only mentioned just let's say, for example, in tech, but STEM is so broad, and that's why I get excited to talk to people like you, to tell people that you don't only have to be into medicine or whatever. There's just so many different things that you can do, and it's been a pleasure having you talk with us today. I've learned so much, and I hope people also learned a lot. So thank you.
Thanks to you for having me, Anne.
It's been great. And for everybody else at home, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Roots of the Science podcast with your girl, Anne with an E. Until next time, bye.